existing homes, and actually natural gas. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director of 10-Minute Trades. I want to welcome you to the trade room. Good morning, Greg. And don't forget, please, that all trades are for educational purposes. It is possible to lose money trading futures, so trade carefully. All right. So a couple of things. You know me, just because I'm not having a trade room doesn't mean I don't test. We didn't waste our time. First of all, can you hear me okay? I'm using a headset and I can't hear outside of the headset. Okay, it sounds good. So the ECB refi rate was a no trade, no fill for more than a minute. It's a 45-second cancel. The press conference trade, which is a trade that's ridiculous at this point, it doesn't get really looked at properly. That was a no fill also, and I think that should be removed. But the one error that maybe I made is that the job report, maybe it's not done. I've been feeling very strongly the jobs report with gold has not been trading well, and I don't want people to lose money. Chantal, I forgot to ask you, what time are you streaming? I don't want people to lose money, but it worked really nicely today. And, so maybe we'll keep it on for a while. Keep it going, starting next week again, because it worked pretty nicely today. 1 week doesn't mean that it's a great trade. Okay. So I want to welcome, I should be able to, Dave, there was a natural gas DMM. There was a natural gas DMM. Chantal, I'm streaming and everything's fine. Let me turn it off and on. Dave, actually, there was a ton of DMMs today. Dave, there were a ton. You had natural gas, ECB, press conference trade, existing homes, all in one DMM, obviously. Okay, Chantal, you guys are not getting my screens? No screens? How about now? I turned them off for 1 second because Chantal said she couldn't get them. Okay, no, they were on. I was looking at them. They were on, but I guess something was goofy in the software. Okay, so welcome our friends on YouTube and everybody that's in the room. So I was just talking about the trades. The only one that's worth looking at was the Thursday claims. I've been looking for an NQ setup on that. It was a disaster today. It didn't work at all. It almost works, but here's gold with a bracket of 6. This was an exact DMM trade, the jobless claims. The number was very, very good also, and gold was trending down. So my guess is Mark traded it short. Mark, did you trade that after the news? Because the move was made before the news was seen. It hit the first target. and the news didn't even show up. I heard it in my ear. I heard it in my ear. You got 6 ticks. Did you get 6 ticks because you got in late? Is that what happened in your particular case today? Because you weren't sure about the news result? I mean, that's what I would expect might have happened. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Because the news did show up. I swear, I know that I saw it. I'm positive I saw it. That's so weird. I'm 100% positive that I saw it. But anyway, it was a good little trade. The NQ didn't work very well. So I'll have to reconsider my NQ trade. The ECB refi rate didn't fill. So there was no trade. So people don't get up in the morning anyway. It's like 4 in the morning. It's 4 in the morning for California people, for West Coast people. 5 in the morning, I should say 5:30. No, 4:45 for the ECB. It has not been a big enough winner to be worth getting up for. That's the truth. Hasn't been a big enough winner to get up for. And that's why I didn't do the trade room. If it had won, if it's been winning 5 out of 7, then I'll do the room. But if it's, a coin toss, I'm not doing a 7 o'clock, 7:15 room. Sorry. I just can't do it. I'll tell you, I read the news every morning. I have a routine. I wake up, I start looking at my phone, I go through the news. I'm so depressed these days over the world news. The world news, it's so horrible. You got Russia's getting ready to invade the Ukraine again. It's obvious. No one's going to stand up to them either. It's so depressing. People are killed by the cops every other day. It's like beyond belief. It's incomprehensible what's going on. There's no, we have no government essentially. It's very upsetting what's going on. Very, very upsetting. You can dig deep, Dave. You can dig deep. But everything is twisted. All the news is twisted. The country's so polarized to the point of, civil war polarized. I mean, it's really terrible. I find it depressing. I just wake up and it depresses the heck out of me. And then the 20-year bond trade doesn't work, and I don't take Canada's bank statement, and I want to jump off the roof. That's like the final straw. The 20-year bond trade doesn't work. Canada, because we haven't traded it, I chickened out. I want to jump off a roof. My roof. I'll jump off my roof. Canada. Yeah, you know what? The Canada trades are starting to come back. I might have a room for Canada retail next week. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. And take a shot. What's the worst that'll happen is we won't get filled. Dave, I don't think I agree with all your theories. I'm sorry. I just don't agree. I don't totally agree that there's this I mean, who is they? Who is they? And who are the mass? There are no masses. That's the thing. The masses are completely split. You can't control them. There's no agreeable mass anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, Dave, one day we'll have to sit down over a beer and talk about this. Well, the news media should not be allowed to be owned by one company. They have to break up the news media. That's the truth. There shouldn't be two companies owning all the media outlets in the world or in the US. It's like there's so few companies that control the news outlets. Dark beer works for me, Dave. Heroin actually would even be better as far as I'm concerned. A little bit of heroin. Hey, it could be weed now. We go to a place where we could smoke weed. That's what I mean about this world. This whole world is crazy, crazy. Okay, let's talk existing homes. I'm trading it, okay? I'm trading it. I'm trading it with gold. I'm trading the DMM. Um, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of trades have been working. A lot of trades have been working. Um, oil, no, I'm sorry to say, and bonds, no. Yesterday was not a good day. All right. It just wasn't. The trades were bad. But prior to that, a lot of trades have been not too bad. Not too bad. Some of them are new setups. Some of them are modified gold setups. But existing homes, I think we made 3 ticks last month. I mean, the way to trade it is, if you don't get a pop, you probably want to. Right now, we'll take a look at gold. We'll see what gold's looking like. Last month it was very negative and gold moved the right way, but it didn't go very far. It's only a 3-tick target. So, but it still, it moved. It didn't work badly. It wasn't horrifying. February, I don't know if we traded it. I mean, look, this is a trade that it's not been great. I mean, that's the truth. It's not a great performer. February, we didn't trade it. The sales were positive. Part of the problem is something's going on with the NQ at 10 o'clock. It's moving very radically and very difficult to trade. And I don't really believe it's news. It's always from the news. So we're still doing a lot of testing. So February was dull. I mean, I call that a loser. Excuse me. February is a loser. Or you look at it, maybe it wasn't. It never hit the stop. It never hits the stop, and then eventually it goes down. So maybe it wasn't a loser. So maybe I'll change my thought about February being a loser. But see, I didn't have March as a loser. Let's look at January. Excuse me. I mean, very honestly, anybody who doesn't want to trade this doesn't bother me at all. It's not a big winner. All the home trades lately have been disappointing. We got new homes on tomorrow. I don't know if I want to trade it, to be honest. New homes, I've tried to find a setup forever on that trade. I can't find a setup for it. So here's January. and January hits the targets. Okay, but it goes the wrong way. The news was good. Gold was negative. It made no sense. The move made no sense, but it worked. Gold was trending up at the time of the trade after the open. Now, this morning, you've got, somewhat calmer markets. So you've got somewhat calmer markets. The thing that I don't like is I don't like the risk reward on the trade. It's not a good risk to reward trade. I don't usually think a lot about risk to reward, but I do think about it on a trade that doesn't really have the opportunity almost ever to burst through the risk to reward. In other words, you're risking $220 and you're only going to make 100 to 110. So it's a debatable trade whether you want to take it or not. Its behavior February, I guess, I originally thought February was a stop also, but I had a question mark for it as well. It might not definitively have been a stop. February. That was January. But we didn't trade it live, so sometimes it's hard to tell. So, when you look at the fill, it burst down. So, it looks like it would have filled on the short side. That's what it looks like to me. But I do not see it hit the stop. So if you stayed in and didn't do anything, eventually, look, it went profitable. So I don't necessarily see that as a loss. I don't know if I would have been patient enough, in all honesty. Let's check our time. So my computer's instinct. But I'm really seriously considering not trading these 50% trades and trading a little bit less, but trading better reports. I'm just not sure with markets this difficult, and it doesn't mean I won't continue to watch the reports. So if they come back and behave, we can always add them back. But I personally would rather trade a little bit less and get better results right now, especially because the markets are difficult. I could trade twice a month and wouldn't care less personally, but that's just me. people don't want to pay for a service that only trades twice a week. I mean, not twice a month, twice a week. I could just pick the creme of the de la creme. So here's the setup. I mean, very honestly, I'm telling you now, I would not trade this trade with my family's money. I would not. This is not a family money trade. I don't know that it's ever been. Okay? I don't know that it's ever been a family money trade. A target of 3, a target of 7, a stop of 11, and an entry of 59. But what if we took 1 month and we just traded trades that I would trade with my family's money? Would anybody be interested in that just for 1 month? It would be a very quiet month because it might mean just a couple of trades a week sometimes. Would anybody be interested in that? Fred, you'd be interested in that. In other words, Greg would be. I mean, in other words, look, I wouldn't trade this trade. It doesn't have the return. It doesn't have the return. You know what the problem, Mark? There's a lot of pressure to trade. People don't want to buy a service that doesn't trade a lot. That's the honest truth. Brian, you know, it's terrible. That's right, Mark. That's right. You're absolutely right. Brian, it's terrible, but because of the technology with this room, I don't know that you're here unless I make a special effort to look at, see who's here. So, Brian, I just don't want you to think that I've been ignoring you because I haven't. Okay, bro. So, I mean, I'm telling you the truth. This is not a family money trade. So, you know what? See, I'm just at a loss today. That's the truth. I'm at a loss. I'm not dying to trade it. I actually feel more comfortable trading the Thursday jobless claims than this report. That's being honest. So I could literally cancel this trade at the last second. Mark, you always make good points. That's the truth. Always make good points. Usually I'm very, very flat emotionally and even. Of course, there are trades that scare the heck out of me sometimes. I don't let on until after the trade. Which is kind of funny. Most times, some trades clearly make me more uncomfortable than others. You know, trades that I don't like make me uncomfortable. Oil and gas. I enjoy trading oil and gas, but they make me uncomfortable because they're so radical. They're very radical. Wednesday and Thursday, oil and gas. They are radical trades. The other thing is existing home sales. I mean, it just has a history of being a 50-50 report. That's its history. It's never been a great report. None of the home sales are working that great these days. They're just not. They're just not. So, but I think people are interested in the creme de la creme, and 1 month, you got to do it for more, you got to do it for a month. So then the question becomes, what trades do you trade? Do you trade Thursday jobless claims? Do you trade Thursday jobless claims? In that, right now, I'd have to say not right now, because it's been a little bit inconsistent. It has been inconsistent. It's not easy to pick the creme de la creme either. Next week, there's some interesting earnings trades. A lot of the companies are by themselves next week, but there's a lot of chaotic times on earnings that concerns me. They don't seem to have Alphabet correct. And Alphabet is a very dramatic earnings trade.
I'll be reading the US existing home sales first and the rest as they come.
All right, we got about 40 seconds. I'm watching the NQ. I'm not trading it, I'm just watching it. It's only had a 30-point move today. It's pretty small.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
See now, this is bad news. Very bad news.
Eurozone consumer confidence back coming out at -8.
Order filled.
So I closed out. I saved $20 by closing out. It moved up. There's my stop. Folks, I'm not trading these crappy trades. Okay. The home trades, they're just not very good. But look at the NQ. Maybe there's a trade on the NQ and just gold is not, why did gold work so perfectly on jobless claims? Because maybe the market's looking at it so much more seriously. Let's look at the video. I want to see what the NQ did, the way that it looked. But I'm going to do a creme de la creme. I'm telling you right now. That's what we're going to do. Let me just save the video. Take 1 second. Okay, here's the video. And I just want to see what the NQ did. So it started moving down. My orders would have been on the chart right now, 82.25. And it went up 2 ticks, and a very, very tradable trade on the NQ. Very tradable on existing homes. It looks like it anyway. It looks like it. So maybe we'll try it next time.
And for those who are interested, the Eurozone Consumer Confidence Flash Report is available on the Financial News YouTube.
Okay, folks, I want to thank our YouTube friends for watching. Or are we staying? Chantal, you going to stay for natural gas? I think 1 live trade is fair enough. Chantal. So I want to thank our YouTube friends. We're really just doing 1 live trade per stream. Normally, people pay to be in our trade room. I want to thank you for watching. Definitely, if you're interested in trading this method, we've had a bunch of winners this week also. It's not all bad trades. It's not all losing trades. So, like the channel and hit the notification bell so you know the next time we're here. And Chantal, you could close it. And thank you very much, YouTube folks, for watching us, and we'll see you next time.